Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. And as always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell. So every time I drop a video, you will be the first to talk about it. Let's talk about parenting, right? Not dissing or talking against anyone's parenting, especially in this story, but really about how difficult it is and how it's just difficult it is to raise children, whether it's a two-parent household, single-parent household, children of divorce, or what have you, whether you have a village or don't have a village. It is difficult because you know your child is going to do something at least once that's going to make you want to snatch a knot out of them. But it's an ongoing lesson. There is no book. I don't care how many books are written. You can read them all. But I can tell you that there's no one book that can tell you how to perfectly raise a child, because you can have multiple children coming out of one household and all of them will not act the same. They all have different personalities. Okay. You may have some that get great grades. You may have some that get average grades. You may have some that go to college. You may have some that don't go to college. You may have some that go get a trade. You may have some that may just sit around the house and do nothing. You may think you're raising them all the same, but as you get older in parenting, your methods will change per child. Because once you understand your kid and how to get through to them, then you have to do things differently with each one. And then there becomes a problem, because your kids will think that you may like a loved one more than the other, right? Because you treat one a different way, but maybe you feel sorry for a child. I don't know. I haven't been there. Not yet. But then if you do treat them all the same way, and then one of them fails, now it's like you're the bad parent because this child failed. You treat them all the same way, but you knew this child was different, but you still treat them like the other child. And the child didn't react right. So now the child went awry, and now there's a problem. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. But it's best for that you understand that everybody has different personalities, and you have to learn how to address them all. I think being a coach in like youth sports, like, coach like youth basketball, boys and girls, and coach girls soccer, and coach girls softball, for some years when my kids were growing up. So I think you learn how to deal with different personalities, especially when it comes to girls. Ooh, Lord, especially when they're in junior high. My God, man. Anyway, you learn how to deal with different personalities at once. And it ain't easy. It's not easy, but you have to learn to pay attention. But anyway, let me get back into the story. Like I say, this is a story, like I said, we're going to talk about parenting, in the story. But so the first article is from the dailymail.co, and it reads, Deion Sanders' son Shilo declares bankruptcy, court files reveal, after Colorado safety lost $12 million lawsuit over an alleged 2015 assault. At that time, this is 8 years ago, and he's 24. So we're talking 16 years old, I guess. 2015. That's damn near 10 years ago. So yeah, 15 and 16 years old. Okay. Because he's 24 now. So he was a kid. So he wasn't he wasn't like freaking, in college. He was in school at the time. It must have been a big boy. But anyway, Deion Sanders' son Shilo has filed for bankruptcy in an apparent attempt to avoid paying $11.89 million to a high school security guard who successfully sued the Colorado player over an alleged assault. According to federal and Texas state court files obtained by dailymail.com, Shilo was accused in 2015 of attacking John Darjean at AAA Academy, a high school within the now shuttered Focus Academies where Deion served as CEO. I thought it was called Focus. I thought it was called Prime Prep or something. It must have been, how many schools did dude have? Huh. Shilo allegedly slammed Darjean in the chest and continued to punch the security guard after he attempted to discipline the student for being disruptive and violating the school no phone policy. Darjean filed a lawsuit in Dallas in 2016 claiming he sustained several severe and permanent injuries, including a broken neck, damages to his cervical spine, permanent neurological injuries, and irreversible incontinence. It says in a separate legal filing, Shilo acknowledged that an incident took place, but denies or claims he fails to remember many of Darjean's accusations. DailyMail.com messages to Shilo's attorneys went unanswered. Now, we're talking about Deion Sanders' son. Deion Sanders is out there. Deion Sanders is a disciplinarian. So when you read this story, you like thinking, dang, how he let his son just act a fool up in these schools, right? Something got to be wrong. You know, your son, first of all, you're Deion Sanders. By the time your kids get to junior high school, they know who their dad is. Everybody knows who their dad is, especially here in Dallas, Texas, Dallas area. Oh, yes, Deion Sanders, living legend. Can't do no wrong even if he's doing wrong. So he's probably smelling himself going to class, and he's pretty much going to break his dad's rules. Now, why would he do that? So, but we're going to ask that question. Why would he do that? Why would he try to break the rules in his dad's school? Is it because he thought, well, this is my dad, I can get away with what I want to? But you know your dad. And you know your dad is not going to let you get away with that. So is there someone who is going to allow you to get away with bringing a phone to school that's close to you? Let's see. Where do I want to go? Hold on. I don't want that story. I want to go to this one. This is from the mirror.com. Same subject. And it reads, Deion Sanders' son Shilo files for bankruptcy after losing $12 million lawsuit. And I want to go down to this part right here. It says, Shilo Sanders allegedly assaulted Darjean, a former New York Yankees baseball prospect, as the security officer attempted to implement disciplinary action over allegedly causing disruption in class. It said, hang where's it at? There we go. The complaint says one of Coach Prime's assistant let's back up. Darjean's complaint for a non-discharge of debt filed in the United States Bankruptcy Court for Colorado on January 29th claims the now college football safety was taken to in-school suspension after breaking the school's no phone policy. Again, you're breaking your dad's policy. Why would you do that? The complaint says one of Coach Prime's assistant coaches came to Darjean's office with the two-time Super Bowl winner on the phone, who instructed the security guard to take the phone off his son, who was said to be on a call with Pilar, his ex-wife since 2013, which is that boy's mama. Are y'all seeing what I'm seeing? So you got a dad who's a disciplinarian, but when you do, and this is something that children do, again, that's why I say parents, you got to sit together, but it's been a divorce. 2 years after the divorce, now you got two households. One is going to be the stickler. One is going to try to be the fun parent. I've been in this situation with my own children, even when me and their mother were still together. And I had to make sure I stood my ground. You know, these kids and these parents would be like, my child needs his phone just in case he needs to call me if something is wrong. They'll use that excuse. But in reality, they just want the phone. So they can do whatever they want to, play on the phone, whatever they want to do with the phone. Their kids do with the phone. And you know, the first thing that they'll say when the phones get taken up is, how am I going to contact my parents? Well, I went through 12 years of public and private school. We didn't have cell phones back then or pages. At least I didn't have, neither I didn't. Anyway, if we need to get into contact with our parents, we went straight to the office, or there was a payphone under the stairs, like, well, next to the stairs of the high school or whatever. But there were ways to get in contact with your parent if need be. When I cracked my tooth in high school, I had to go to the school office and call my mom and say, hey, I cracked my tooth. It hurt. Like I hit you know what I'm saying? It's hurting bad. And she had to come and pick me up. And no, ain't no problems. There was always fights. There wasn't no shootings. Maybe a couple of stabbings here and there. Didn't need to call. I mean, if it was something bad, no, there was a shooting at school one time, like toward the end of school one time. But, it was just, I ain't gonna say it was par for the course. Wasn't nobody sitting there saying, dang, I wish I had a phone to call my mama. No. But like I'm saying, you got people we've been through this who have survived hundreds and hundreds of years, maybe thousands of years in school systems without a cell phone. You don't need your phone. You just want to have it. You're addicted to it. You just want to have it. Let that be the reason. But when you have a disciplinary like Deion, he may be over. They may think he's over disciplinarian, whatever you call it, whatever it is. But he disciplines probably too much. They might think. The mom will definitely won't think that, because she's gonna try to do the opposite of what he do, because there's a bit of divorce going on. So what you gonna try to do? You're gonna use the children to go against the father. But men, what you have to understand and what you have to remember is to stay the course. Don't change. Be the disciplinarian. If they want to act a fool, then you say, hey, I'm not putting up with it. Try me if you want to. Yes, they would be upset. Yes, they would not like you. Studies show that the majority of the fathers in the world are not liked in the household. Just what it is. But I guarantee you, and you can see it now with the way like Deion Sanders got his kids and took them to Jackson State and got them in Colorado, and they'll probably go pro or play somewhere professionally or do something in a professional manner. You can see that they went with their dad, because the older you get, the more you respect and understand what he was trying to do and his goal. And I can say that as a father, same thing with my kids. There have been times that me and my kids didn't see eye to eye. Probably didn't talk for weeks or even months on end. But matter of fact, I don't want to get too personal in my stories, but I remember me and one of my daughters not talking for a minute, or not talking as much. And then she was upset. She was upset about something. I'm like, okay, what up? It is what it is. You'll understand what I'm saying later. But she reaches out to me out the blue and say, Dad, I know we ain't been talking and on good terms, blah, 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 but I know that I got to ask you something, because I know if I ask you, you're going to be straight with me. You're not going to give me you're not going to BS me, because you got family members that are like, yeah, do this, do that, do dumb, do stuff that I'm like, nah, that ain't the thing to do, child. You need to do it this way, this way, this way. I'm just telling you. And, she don't agree with it. They don't agree with it. And she grown with them because they make her feel good. But she would say, because I know you're not going to BS me. You're going to be straight. You're going to tell me the truth. I need to ask you something. And that just shows the level of respect and understanding of what I brought to her. And my youngest daughter too. Call me, text all the time. There's a problem. Hell, even when she had a problem in telling her T. Jones will tell her, hey, go ask your daddy. You know what I'm saying? Oh, she'll try this and the third. Talk to him about it. So, like I said, there's a level of understanding. So it can be a road. It can be frustrating. Parenting is frustrating. I'm sure Deion Primetime done been through it with his kids and his ex-wife. But in the end, if you do right by them, they'll, raise the child like he should be raised, and they will soon not depart or something like that. I need to learn how to read, memorize some of these scriptures. But you get what I'm saying. Raised like they're supposed to be, and don't worry, they might make a few mistakes, but they'll come back. But yeah, so in high school, like I say, he probably feeling himself and felt he can just beat up. And your dad told that guy, that security guard, go get that phone for my son, because he shouldn't have had it. Simple as that. And the guy go get it, and then the son beats him up. Deion should have fired that dude because he's a piss poor security guard, but that's neither here nor there. Next time, you bet you he'll hire more, some more security oriented type people. But anyway, the stories, they just pretty much talk about the injuries that he got, and why it was a default judgment is because Deion's son said he didn't know about the trial and didn't know that he got a lawsuit, which he probably didn't, because he's probably out of state. So it's quite possible he never got the letter or the memo. I mean, it happens. I mean, it does happen. At first, I thought, well, maybe he was just being, like I say, just trying to be, Deion's son or whatever, thought he can get away with anything, be above the law. But no, it is times where people might, someone take you to trial and you don't even know it because maybe you have moved out of state, you know, doing different things and just never get the, what is it, the subpoena or the court order or whatever. You just don't get it and get a doggone default judgment and then trying to fight it. But why the judge ruled in his favor? Well, probably because they can't change it. So he probably got to take it to a higher court, whatever. But he filed, he didn't just filed bankruptcy. He filed bankruptcy like a while ago, almost like 6 to 8 months ago. Longer than that. Yeah, about 8-9 months ago. But anyway, that's all I got for this story. I'll leave the links in the description so you can read the story about the lawsuit and everything else. But like I said, I just wanted to talk about, parenting is not easy. It's a long struggle. That's why you got to start with them when they're young and be there for them and be the disciplinarian and teach them right from wrong. So when they get older, they probably made mistakes, but at least they can hopefully make mistakes and live through them so they can become better, productive members of society. Anyway, that's all I got. Tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below and then share it with the world. Let's have a dialogue. You know how we do around here. 4 ways that you can support the channel. Don't cost you a thing. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Don't take you but maybe a couple of minutes out your day. I will highly appreciate it. Also, if you want to support monetarily, you can super thanks, super chat, or the links in the description boxes you can go to and click on them and support that way too. But with that being said, I'll leave you in peace and I'll see you on the other side.